Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao and this is One News Now. Justice Secretary Boying Remulla has revealed the identity of one of the alleged masterminds in the killing of Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo. The suspect is Marvin Miranda, a military reservist who Remulla said was the quote director in the killing. Miranda supposedly recruited the gunmen and provided them with firearms. The DOJ secretary maintains that Congressman Arnie Teves is also still a mastermind in the Degamo killing.
Yun nga, kumbaga sa sine, siya yung director tsaka casting director. Hindi lang ito sine kasi totoo na nangyari ito eh. While Congressman Teves is the executive producer of everything.
And in other news, bagging operations are now underway for the sunken MT Princess Empress in Oriental Mindoro. The Philippine Coast Guard has decided to manage and contain the oil spill using the bagging method, which also entails the sealing and patching of leaks. Coast Guard Deputy Commandant Rolando Punzalan Jr. noted that initial operations over the weekend were successful. Punzalan also reported that from 23 leak sources, only 11 have already been spotted by Coast Guard personnel. The specialized bags were provided by the UK government, and more bags are expected to arrive today.
Meron pa pong ibang mga pamamaraan na ating tinitingnan kung kaya't yung ating mga kasama sa US Coast Guard at US Navy ay titingnan din at susuriin kung yung kanilang mga kapabilidad ay magagamit natin.
Meantime, popular Holy Week tourist destination Puerto Galera remains oil spill free. Local officials and residents went for a swim over at the popular White Beach to prove that it's safe. Resorts in Puerto Galera have had a number of cancellations following reports that oil has reached the island.
Noon pong may lumabas na mabalita ay meron pong mga nag-cancel. Yung mga tricycle driver dito sa amin, yung mga boatman, yan po ay nangutang para lang sila ay magkaroon ng permit dahil umaasa sila na pagdating po ng Holy Week ay kikita sila.
The local government of Puerto Galera is warning against those who will spread false information on social media. All coastal barangays in Oriental Mindoro, except those of Puerto Galera, are now under a state of calamity.
Mag-ingat ho tayo sa mga fake news na inilalabas dito ho sa ating mga social media kasi mananagot po kayo sa bayang ito.
Time now to take a quick break, but One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. You're back on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. OPEC Plus producers have announced surprise cuts in their oil production by over 1 million barrels per day. Saudi Arabia and Russia said that they will each slash their output by 500,000 barrels per day in May until the end of the year. Iraq, the UAE, Kuwait, Algeria, and Oman are also cutting back on production, with voluntary cuts ranging from 40,000 to over 200,000 barrels a day. Recall that there was a drop in oil prices triggered by jitters in the banking sector from the collapse of SVB and Credit Suisse, or the hurried buyout of Credit Suisse. The Saudi Energy Ministry said that the cuts were a precautionary measure aimed at supporting the stability of the oil market. As a result, oil prices have surged across Asia after this surprise OPEC Plus announcement of a production cut. Sue Keenan gives us the lowdown in this Bloomberg report.
Markets, analysts, traders, even the White House caught off guard.
Yeah, well, that's because OPEC Plus had pledged repeatedly to hold output steady, and as recently as Friday, delegates had indicated privately that, there would be no change. And so this announcement on Sunday, unprecedented in that it comes before tomorrow's monitoring committee meeting, really knocked a lot of people back on their feet. It's a 1 million barrel a day production cut to take effect in May. The Saudis led the cartel with their own 500,000 barrel a day supply reduction, but members including Iraq, Kuwait, and the United Arab Emirates, and also Russia, are contributing to it. Now, if we take a look at the price charts, as Sherry said, WTI had closed above the $75.50 mark on Friday. It had been on an upswing, but as soon as the Asian trading opened, it shot up some 8%, an indication of the surprise move here and the upward trend this now puts oil in. In the wake of all the bank turmoil, we saw oil prices swoon to a 15-month low. Of course, as stocks in the market has come back from the bank concerns, we've seen oil on the rebound. But nevertheless, this is really a shot in the arm to price action. And there are analysts that say OPEC Plus clearly wants a higher oil price. One veteran analyst said the group is following through on being proactive and ahead of the curve, and it's trying to rip oil prices from the grip of macro sentiment, which is about demand being flat, and that's maybe going to keep prices lower. Well, they just pushed everything into high gear here.
Yeah, we've seen the political reaction so far.
Yeah, the White House out, as Sherry mentioned, saying that this was ill-advised. Of course, the thinking on many analysts and market watchers is that tensions between the Saudis and the Biden administration, which were already very uneasy, are really probably going to ratchet up higher here. The White House believing this is ill-advised given the uncertainty of the market. There's real concern by the Biden administration on inflation, and this feeds right into that. The White House also said the new cuts will cause the Biden administration to continue to work with oil producers and consumers with a focus on gas prices. You should note the initial impact of the cuts, which start next month, will add up to just over 1.1 million barrels a day. And from July on, due to the extension of the Russian existing supply reduction, there would be about 1.6 million barrels a day less crude on the market than many had been expecting. So this is a real event that traders, analysts, and others will be reacting to in the days to come.
And back here at home, here are some of the day's other top stories. Oil companies are set to implement oil price hikes this Holy Week. According to UniOil, diesel prices could rise between 30 and 50 centavos per liter, while gasoline could be pricier by 1 peso and 20 centavos to 1 peso and 40 centavos per liter. The MMDA is suspending the number coding scheme starting Holy Wednesday, April 5th from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. This is in observance of the Holy Week. The number coding scheme will be suspended until Monday, April 10, which is another non-working holiday for the Day of Valor or Araw ng Kagitingan, which is usually commemorated on April 9, which happens to fall on Easter Sunday this year. Over at the Vatican, Pope Francis presided over the Palm Sunday Mass just a few days after being hospitalized due to bronchitis. The pontiff got out of Rome's Gemelli Hospital on Saturday, where he stayed for a few days after complaining of breathing difficulties. Meanwhile, the Vatican confirmed that the Pope will take part in a full array of Easter events this Holy Week. One News Now will be back at 3 p.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.